and the process of mediation to help us understand how this can be very fruitful if used as a weapon in the right way, a weapon, so to speak. Now, Samson Ouma is our expert today. Thank you so much. He works in judiciary as well, and of course privately with in processes of mediation that are very, very integral when it comes to conflict resolution. Now, Samson, thank you so much for joining us today. Yeah, I'd like you to tell us what your reaction is to what's happening in the country. This is not the first demonstrations we're seeing, and clearly from what we have had from the leaders, it's not going to be the last. What do you make of what's happening in Kenya today?
The situation in Kenya is, I want to say that Kenyans are aware of the Article 1,
yes,
that promote them to express themselves.
So this is a right?
Yes,
yeah.
So through mandamano, through picketing. But again, the same constitution in Article 59 promotes mediation as a way of solving disputes. So I would call for Kenyans the way they know about Article 1, which allows them to express themselves. They can as well express themselves through mediation, which is in Article 59.
Yeah.
Yes, when they're demonstrating, I will not support
yes,
the aspect of disruption or loss of life,
of property, deaths.
So,
yeah.
Yes.
Those are essentially the worst case
yes,
scenarios, right?
Yes,
in these situations. But maybe define for us what mediation is, because from my understanding, for that to happen, the two people in conflict or two parties in conflict have to be in a headspace where they can come together,
yes,
right? And
yes,
of course have a mediator,
yes,
professional such as yourself or anyone else, to actually bring those minds together and come up with a solution. So from the definition of what mediation is, yes, and what's happening in Kenya with the political leaders, do you foresee that even happening in Kenya?
Yes, I foresee that happening when the leaders realize that it's possible that it can be solved through mediation. In fact, they know, but that aspect of goodwill to accept the process is still not there.
Yeah.
I want to say that mediation is very cheap. It's very cheap in the sense that people may not lose their lives we are seeing, maybe the properties we are seeing. From your bulletin, I've seen fire on the road. You know, that's a distraction.
Yeah.
So there's another way.
And the businesses have drawn to a court.
Yes.
People are not making money.
Yes.
Not making anything better economically, is it?
Yes, I would call for sitting down and finding a neutral person, a neutral party who is not interested in either. Yeah. And this can bring us to somewhere.
Right.
Rather than the aspect we are seeing.
Give a situation in the past where mediation has worked. The most famous one, if I could say, is Kofi Annan coming in and bringing about peace in Kenya after the most ugliest of conflicts happened, civil war. We almost descended into civil war because of conflict, and Kofi Annan was a perfect mediator, if I can call him that. Who would be, in your view, a perfect mediator to bring the heads together?
A perfect mediator is somebody who is seen neutral, accepted by both parties.
Yeah.
If I give an example of what's going on in Sudan today,
yes,
Sudan are really in need of a mediation.
Yeah, but they have rejected Kenya.
Yes, they have rejected Kenya because they're feeling Kenya is partisan already. So a moment a mediator is seen as a partisan individual or a group, then it cannot work. So mediators will get accepted by the two parties. Right.
So if you were to choose a mediator for what's happening in Kenya, so that things can normalize, who would you pick? Would it be from within Kenya? Would it be from the African Union? Would it be from maybe a retired president, Mo Ibrahim? Who?
Without calling a name, I would consult the parties because they know these people. One a name is mentioned, then we consult the other party. If it is accepted, then we bring that person to the table. Alternatively, we know people who can do that. We propose. We have a number of professionals in the country and even outside the country. Both these people, if consulted, then floated, members, the disputants can agree and get it started immediately without waiting for more disruptions.
Okay,
yes.
Let's talk about what's happening in Sudan for a moment. Sudan has not known peace since the civil uprising that happened. Citizens came to the streets. Similar situations that happened in Sudan are being seen here in Kenya. It was all because of the rise in the price of bread that people came out. They were unhappy, and then a coup ensued, and we had these leaders coming together, two generals who were together, but then these generals have also fallen apart. So clearly it seems like in many African countries there's a lack of synergy, if I may call it, in terms of leaders seeing eye to eye. In our case, it's a leader who feels slighted in terms of the electoral process, and one who feels that it was his right given how the people voted. So speak to us about the need of mediation within ongoing leadership processes. Is it that we just need a consistent sort of mediation, because we see this falling apart happening across the country, in I think, I forget the county, but we had the governor and the deputy governor also falling out. So is mediation something that is just needed consistently when it comes to political leadership?
Maybe the issue of the governor, that's what's the case in Siaya.
Yes, Siaya County, thank you.
I want to say that people in dispute are boxed in a corner psychologically. Even if somebody is expert in dispute resolution, but the moment this person is in dispute, is boxed. So our work as mediators is to let them know that, okay, you can get out of the box and now reason together. We want to advocate for any level, whether it is national or regional, even from the household level. People to know that there's a third way, a third person who can really help the situation. So it's a matter of awareness and awareness, so that people can, just the way I started by mentioning at Article 1, then go to a mediation or arbitration as a way of helping disputants.
So what do you foresee when it comes to the situation in Sudan?
I think let the bodies who feel like can intervene, even intervene themselves. They can propose themselves. When they propose themselves to the other parties, if they're not disputed, then they're the right people. Remember when Kenya never called for, Kenya yes called for support those years, but again, this person must be accepted. That is the bottom line.
Yeah, the bottom line is that the person mediating has to be accepted. Neutral. By both parties, neutral in terms of not having demonstrated any biases before this process even begins. And Kenya, obviously, in this situation,
just like the way now we are talking about Syria, and
we're going to get back to that when we come from the break. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we shall even cast our nets further to the situation in Russia and Ukraine. We've seen the story that was filed earlier on, and of course, that is a situation that even African leaders have tried to wade into because of the ripple effect being felt economically across the world. And they had a 9-point list of the things that they would like to see happen, and they tried to mediate, but they left Russia with not an inkling of how long that conflict is going to last. So we'll also look at that as a model of the need for mediation and who actually can play a role in mediating conflict, especially between two very powerful nations. Let's take a break. We'll be back on Africa Speaks.